In our world today, everything's digital, and trust, well, that's the new currency. But how do you actually build it, especially when you're talking about handing over the keys to your company's most sensitive data? So today, we're going to dive into how you can design security into the very fabric of your operations. We're talking about a system where trust isn't just a promise, it's something you can actually see and verify.
This quote, this just nails it, right? When it comes to your data, trust is not some add-on feature or a nice-to-have. Nope, it's the absolute foundation of any real partnership, and it has to be there from the very first day.
And that brings us to our first big idea, trust by design. So what does that even mean? Well, the idea is pretty simple. In this hyper-connected world, you shouldn't have to just close your eyes and hope for the best when you share your data. It shouldn't be a blind leap of faith. Instead, trust should be built into the system right from the very start. And let's be honest, this is the question that keeps a lot of leaders up at night. You've given a partner access to your systems, your customer lists, your most valuable info. But then what? What really happens next? That feeling of uncertainty, of not quite knowing who's doing what with your data, that's a real and totally valid concern. But here's the thing, that anxiety, that little voice in the back of your head, that's not a roadblock. It's actually the perfect starting point for building a secure partnership because it forces us to start asking the right questions. So first up, the most basic question of all, who exactly has access? Is it one person, a whole team, a contractor? You can't even begin to establish control until you know the who. Okay, and once we know who has access, the next logical question is how? What are the actual controls in place? How are permissions managed? Is there a deliberate, thoughtful system, or is access just kind of handed out whenever it's convenient? And this one is so important. What happens when things change? You know, people switch roles, they leave the company. A truly secure system has a rock-solid plan to make sure that the second a person's role ends, their access ends too, instantly. And let me be super clear about this. Asking these questions isn't a sign of distrust. It's the absolute standard for doing your homework. Any partner who is serious about security won't just welcome these questions, they'll have the answers all documented and ready to go. So, asking the right questions is step one. Step two is building a core philosophy, a set of rules that guides every single decision made about who gets access to what. And at the heart of this philosophy is something called the principle of least access. It's pretty intuitive. Think of it this way. You wouldn't give a house guest the keys to every room in your house, right? Same idea here. You only give someone the exact digital keys they need to do their job and absolutely nothing more. This is the golden rule that should be written on the wall. If access isn't required to do the work, it isn't granted. It's as simple as that. This one little principle completely gets rid of that risky habit of granting just-in-case access. Let's look at how this plays out in the real world. On the left, you've got secure role-based access. It's specific, it's targeted, and you know who's doing what. On the right, you have the wild west of convenience-based access, where everyone gets admin rights just to make things go faster. The result? A high-risk, chaotic mess where you can't track anything. Okay, a philosophy is great, but it's only as good as how you put it into practice. So let's get into the weeds a bit and look at the concrete everyday habits that bring this security model to life. First, let's talk about those digital keys, the passwords, the API keys, all of it. They all need to be locked away in a secure encrypted vault, like a password manager. They should never be sent through email or a chat app. Seriously, that's like leaving your house key under the doormat. The next layer of protection is all about creating a secure bubble for all communication. By insisting on dedicated company-issued accounts, you stop data from accidentally leaking into personal email. And even more importantly, it means that when someone leaves, you can cut off their access immediately because you control the account. This leads us to the idea of limiting the blast radius, the potential damage if a breach ever did happen. Most tasks like updating a website or creating a graphic don't need access to sensitive customer data at all. By building a firewall around that personal info, you make sure that most of the work is done in a totally safe, low-risk zone. And this principle is so relevant for the tools we use today. Take something like an AI transcription service. A secure partner will set up a separate, dedicated account for each client. Why? Because the alternative, using one big shared account for everyone, creates a huge risk of one client's data accidentally spilling over into another's. It's all about preventing that data mixing from the get-go. And finally, we gotta talk about the hardware. A secure system is only as strong as its weakest link, and an unprotected laptop can definitely be that weak link. That's why things like mandatory antivirus, active security tools, and a strict no local storage policy are absolutely non-negotiable. Client data belongs in the client's secure cloud, period, not on someone's personal hard drive. But what about when a project is over, or a team member moves on? A truly secure system is really defined by how it handles these goodbyes, making sure no little security holes are left behind. A secure offboarding process has to be like clockwork. First, the moment a role ends, all access is cut off. Not at the end of the day, instantly. Second, all their passwords and keys are deleted and rotated. And finally, a full system audit is done to confirm there are absolutely no lingering access points. It's clean, it's efficient, and it leaves zero loose ends. So when you put all of this together, the security-first philosophy, the tough daily practices, and that thorough offboarding process, what do you get? You get more than just a warm, fuzzy feeling of trust. You get something that can be proven. You get auditable trust. And what this all means is that you, the owner of the data, are always in the driver's seat. The entire system is documented. Every action can be audited. You can review the processes whenever you want. This replaces blind faith with total transparency and control. And this brings us to one last really powerful idea. We will never move faster than trust allows. In a world that's always screaming, go faster, this is a promise to be a responsible partner. It means that progress and trust, they always have to move forward together, hand in hand. So, as we wrap up, I'll leave you with this one question to think about for your own organization and the partners you work with. Is your data protected by design, or is it just protected by chance? Because when it comes to security, hope is not a strategy.